Quite taken down. We'll stim up, try to get back up to 100 HP as he can survive a nade that comes his way. Yeah, just start stepping their way in, trying to get in those placement points. Even so, at this point, it would take a miraculous game. Last match, I mean, for DXAV being on 105, there's a possibility it's 20 points, right? And a chicken dinner, and OG could pull that off.
Certainly is possible, but a fleeting possibility at best. Grenades start to bombard out and take points away from the lobby, get away from teams that need them. Put them in R8's pocket, why not? Battle for the top of the tables rages on, and R8 do not want to let it slide. Kara denied access. They had it for a moment. R8 being nice on that front, but no, they'll take it back into control. 139 now, neck and neck. R8 win that tiebreaker. DRX crashing in, and it's all up to AKOP to stay alive.
Nice.
Shuts him down. No dice on that push there. DRX only dribs and drabs and will be shut down.
Yeah, another point for AKOP here. Definitely been real clutch for OG. No one's really looking to take any fight at him.
I'm looking at the points here, and all of those teams who are chasing the bubble are still alive, from 9th down to 14th. I mean, I say that with a lot of leeway given to the teams lower down there, but they're all looking to chase, and they're all still alive, which is really bad news for DXAV.
Yeah, for DXAV, it does look worrisome. I think for the Wolves here, though, there is a good chance for them to set themselves up for this last game. At least put themselves on par with DXAV going into this final match. It's a bit of a difficult run out. Regnum Kaya will pick up the silos. Back at this one. Oh my god. If the circle hated these teams, this is one way to show it. Playing off this is really rough, and I think for Ulf actually do have a very strong spot to continue playing from, but they need to cause damage and cause chaos and carnage around the map here. R8 pushes through, but Regnum Kaya quick with the shots downwards from the silos.
Oh, Joker lays down the law to Loxy, and will send him down for a knock, as Regnum Kaya do have to slow down a little bit. Regnum Kaya up to 3 elims now off in the distance. Dead Wolf getting knocked and flashed to Ulf on their high ground hilltop position that they've held for a while now. Ulf really looking to solidify up in those top 7, up to 109 at this point.
Yeah, they're getting further into this one. Regnum Kaya, you know, they just need points here. R8 repositions inside the building off the left-hand side, and still, Wolves have done nothing about AKOP, unable to find these nades across, and AKOP is going to send one of his own. Whew, felt like it was close.
I felt like that was bouncing correctly. The zone, though, is pushing in blank, and it will move everybody out of this area. AKOP wants to spot the runouts, maybe get a flush or 2 if he can. That would be a successful salvage. Regnum Kaya slam down the hill and immediately into the meat grinder. That should be it. That should be them done and dusted. No chance, really, of them getting into 7th place on the next match. It's just too tall of an order.
AKOP gets 2 on the nade.
Okay.
Over towards Wolves.
Wait, what?
Coops goes down. Did he take them out solo? I think he did.
It came up on the picture-in-picture. I wasn't ready for it, but oh my goodness me. AKOP now has Ketch to deal with. He's heard the chicanery around the zone, and Ulf are actually putting a lot of people over in this area. AKOP darting, dashing. More points than we thought he'd get, and laddering up another place. 7 elims, Blank. That's going to draw them up on 90 points. That's 15 points behind the bubble right now. That is so doable.
Incredible stuff. I mean, and it just shows that OG can take fights. I just hope that in future doesn't take them going down to one singular player and just having that nothing to lose mentality to go for it. What a nade from AKOP though over the top. And I think he hit an initial Molotov as well, which was crucial at delaying the guys on Wolves. And that does put Wolves in an awkward scenario now.
Yeah, it's going to be quite nasty down in 9th place there. God, that race is not getting any easier. Although it's good news for DXAV, who hold on to 7th place for one more map at least. I'll have to give it a good go next time around. Everybody else really chasing for solidification spots. And I think Alpha 7 and Ulf will have done enough to be secure now. No one really going to be able to chase. And it's one spot up for grabs at this point going into our final match.
The arena, some more shots. And Murray will go down as Ulf once again is just pumping points. And for Ulf, this is the type of game that definitely just puts them a spot where it's going to be very difficult to push them out from top 7. Alpha Gaming similarly wants some more points off the back of this one, leaving it just to DXavier being that wall guarding between them and other teams underneath. I think if you get to about that 120 point mark, that's where it's very tough to catch up to and would require an insane game from very particular teams.
Certainly would. It starts to become more and more impossible as time goes on. Virtus Pro looking to try and take down Ulf, though, and that might make it a little bit easier for the teams chasing if Ulf go down, but they're not going to go down without a fight. Surely not, but Ketch now the last to stand as they do get torn apart. Of course, it's R8 chiming in, now up on 145 points blank. They are starting to accelerate away from that top pack that's been neck and neck for quite a while, and Ulf go down. 115 locked in on the points tallies there. Alpha 7 looking to continue their ascent as well, closer to that 120 safety zone.
I mean, all right, they have gone from strength to strength in the past. I mean, I remember when this team felt like a bit of a footnote in some of the tournaments way back when, but they have just stayed persistent within the scene, and coming out now just swinging like this is truly incredible work. Ida will go down to Malloy off a nice nade, but a nade doesn't quite bubble just over the top towards Malloy to get the re-knock. More damage over the top now. These air bursts are pretty good though coming through from VP. That should be the finish on at least one, leaving just Marth now alive behind the rock.
Pushes up, needs to get the heal first. Alpha 7 capitalizing. This should be an Alpha 7 chicken dinner. Virtus Pro crammed into a corner here. The numbers advantage is there. Aragon able to do the rest of the damage necessary to take down R8. And maybe Virtus Pro could turn around now. Alpha 7 not fully in position yet, but they will establish as time goes on. Revo steps up, and he will be able to find a second with a DBS. No, not quite. But the turnaround for Carrillo is there, and they trade it off. Alpha 7 really want to stay in the top 7, and they will be able to do so. A chicken dinner in the penultimate match. That's how you lock your spot down.
There's the DBS master at work, gets a knock and then a massive amount of damage onto the next player as well. And for Alpha 7, that's going to secure them in. And you can see that it's the hunger from this team. It seems to be back. There's been some switch outs. Revo, Carrillo back at it again, but Guizao as well Obscure have been such great additions to this team. They're just fingers crossed they don't get kicked off this
last game is going to be a serious problem here, guys, because one more is left to go. Right,
been doing a little bit too good. So wherever this game's like, I'm gonna show them who's boss. Okay, who's the true Alpha 7 OG, and he performs a little bit better here, getting himself almost 650 damage, 3 eliminations to boot. So definitely a really solid game coming out from the entirety of Alpha 7 and the IG Lingo of Carrillo. Again, understanding fully how to abuse this circle in their favor, because the death of a lot of teams in Iptra this match clearly was Los Leones. A lot of teams were forced into making that call to go through the city. And as we saw, a lot of teams did not make it out alive, or at least not as a full team.
No, they didn't. I mean, so many teams fell victim to that, right? APG had a really rough game. They were trying, but they got surrounded so...
Hodrix, to see the leaderboards, how close it's going to be, because...
Clear off those sides that do what they need to do, make sure they have that space to move around, and it got them that second place.
Yeah, I really like the... Sorry, I'm going to go on Alpha 7 again, because I feel like they had the most interesting rotations this game.
Yeah.
They understood a majority of the lobby were going to respond to that circle by going in the city early on, but as you said, Hodrix, we thought it was going to be a city Los Leones finish, but no, it tended to move away. So by delaying your rotate, if it does shift away, guess what? You're the first team to pick off those strong positions that are going to be in the later game scenario of this match. So very happy with Alpha 7. 16-point game. Let's keep in mind, they did have a 0-point game earlier. I was a bit scared maybe they could slip out of top 7, but no, this 16-point chicken dinner is exactly what they needed to make sure Brazil is present at the biggest stage here for the Global Championship.
That's right. Hit that stamp, book that ticket to the grand finals. That's how you do it right there. I mean, Alpha 7's rotations, they're absolutely one of my favorites to watch, because they can pull out a chicken. What do you think?
Yeah, they certainly have the most experience into this, and that experience is paying off. There we go, 123 points. They are unstoppable now. No way they can drop down past that 7th place. But you see R8 continuing. I mean, they had a really good game again in this last game, right? In this last Miramar. So another good game, just making sure that they're solidly on that top spot.
So actually, the point threshold here did not move. It was 105 points between Ulf and D Xavier before this game. It remains at 105 points. The entry point top 7 has not budged at all this previous Miramar game. D Xavier currently on the cusp. DRX 6 points away. 7 points needed for Wolves, and then you're looking at Orangutan. They need 15 points. So pretty much, if you're below Wolves and DRX,